how do I make money?
So you just gotta think like Tesla, Apple, those are gonna be the main ones where I think that's a great point to start investing.
What companies do you use every single day? Your Starbucks, your Apples, your Amazons. So anything that you're investing into, you need to figure out, how can this company give me some money back?
So for us, we take a trade, maybe catch 15 to 50%. For a lot of people, that might be 1 hour of their time. So a month, now you got an extra $2,000.
Wow.
How did you get to that position? Because more than likely, it took discipline, consistency, and probably wasn't easy to get to where you are today.
That's good.
To be honest, I think everyone does. You just have to have the confidence. You have to really just convince yourself that this is meant for you. So as long as you don't stop throughout that journey, you will be successful. I saw a great opportunity, passed it along to my students, and we invested in the big names, such as we said earlier, NVIDIA, Tesla, Apple, and so forth. And all of those investments, 100% return. Use that as a foundation to understand what type of trades you should be taking.
This is really good. Welcome to another episode of Access Granted, where I give you exclusive access to entrepreneurs that are killing it in their industry. Today, I'm super excited because I get to be the student and the podcast host. Sire, welcome to Access Granted. How you feeling?
Thank you. Doing well, doing well.
So I know who you are. Let's dive straight in and tell the audience like who you are and the game you're about to give them today.
So my name is Sire Abram, 27 years old, currently live in Chicago right now, and I'm an options trader. Been trading options since 2019, and to be honest with you, I've never had a full-time job before. So this is my bread and butter. It's all I've been doing since.
Wow. So you said never had a full-time job.
Never.
I have a daughter. She's 14 years old, and she has like the entrepreneur spirit. And I am so concerned that she will be like the 27-year-old that's never had a full-time job. How did you get into trading? Like, where did this even start?
Yeah, most definitely. I believe it honestly started before I even knew about trading. So I've always been an intellectually curious individual. So from a young age, I knew I was going to be successful in something. I just didn't know the vehicle that was actually going to take me. So right before COVID hit, back in 2019, I was on the bus with a friend in college, and I saw this guy, and he had like a pair of $1,000 shoes. And I was like, this guy afford these shoes. You know, we're all students here. We're broke. And he told me he trades. And I asked him about it. And then there, COVID hit, went back home, decided to do some more research. And I just went down the rabbit hole, and eventually it got me to where I am today.
Oh, that's amazing. So now you're teaching and educating others how they can do the same thing. If I'm watching this right now, and we hear about people trading all the time, and we see you post receipts all the time. Mm-hmm. I think I seen you post something today, like I'm having lunch right now and I just made $1,000, like free lunch. And it sounds amazing, but where do we even start?
Yeah, so the thing is, when it comes to getting started with trading, you can make it super simple for yourself, or you can make it very hard for yourself. Now, for me, I'm going to tell the audience what not to do, and this is exactly what I did. So when starting off, I just went on YouTube, watched a bunch of random videos, and I had to learn through trial and error. So I wasted time, I wasted money, I wasted resources, whereas, if I was actually intentional with my learning, and, nowadays we have stuff like AI where you can look up, okay, if I want to get started with trading, what are some topics I should learn? So then you need to make a list of those topics and then really just dive in deep and try to find someone that is at the point to where you want to be. Because you can't get to where you want to become in the future by yourself. So for me, I go back and I do that for people that are just starting out, making sure that their journey is seamless and as smooth as possible.
That's really, really good. I think I tell people inside of my community the same thing. Like, so many times we're trying to figure it out, but there are people who can actually bridge the gap for you. Correct. So it sounds like you are that person for your community as well. You're bridging the gap from, if you could just go Google it, or if you could just go watch it on YouTube, you would already be successful industry or whatever it is you're trying to learn. But if you can get next to somebody who can show you the shortcut to success, it just speeds up your journey and speeds up your transition.
Yeah.
What are some key strategies or some things that you teach people that are connected with you after we realize that this is something that we can do and you're helping us bridge the gap? What are some, like, the top 3 things you would tell me to do right now if I'm watching?
Yeah, most definitely. So number 1, I would say you have to understand what the market is, what options trading is, how that correlates with stocks, because a lot of us may not know what the stock market is. So if we want to get into options trading, which is a little bit more meticulous, it's going to be a little bit confusing. So you just have to understand what you're doing overall. And then secondly, I would say really just understand how to work the platforms, such as me. I use Robinhood and I use TradingView. So those are the only 2 platforms I use, because you got to understand what you're actually going to be using on a daily basis. And then number 3, I would say it all starts within you. So you have to understand the type of person you are. If you're someone that's not disciplined, not consistent, and someone that's just not going to take it seriously, it's not going to work out. So you got to get your mind right. You got to get right with yourself before you can go on this journey of trading, because you're going to be pushed to the limits.
That's really good. So if I'm watching this right now, I want you, what is options trading? Just like break it down. Very simple for me. I hear it. I want to do it. I don't really know if it's for me. Explain it to me like I'm a 10-year-old.
Okay, perfect. So do you have an iPhone by any chance?
I do.
Okay, so what company owns iPhone?
Apple.
Okay, so Apple stock is $265 right now. Now, if you don't have $265 to go invest shares in Apple, let's say you wanted to buy 10 shares, it's going to be $2,600. Now, for people that don't have $2,600 to buy shares, they can trade options. Now, options, you can trade and you can capitalize on the upside of Apple with a fraction of the cost. So essentially, long story short, it is you having the ability to trade with a smaller amount of money rather than purchasing shares for thousands and thousands of dollars to see some sort of upside.
That's really good. So how much money do I need to get started?
So, but to be honest with you, I don't think you need a lot of money. Even $300 is perfect to start with. When you understand what you're doing, it doesn't matter what amount you start with.
So what are some good companies? Like, and I think I've heard people say before, like, you should invest in things that you love or things that you own. So you used Apple for an example. You know, is that a good starting point for me? Should I invest in companies that I'm familiar with? Should I be risky? How do I make money in this?
As you said, it all starts with, what you use on a daily basis. So for me, I was a big fan of Tesla years ago, maybe back in 2016. So you just got to think like Tesla, Apple, and all these other companies that we use on a daily basis. Those are going to be the main ones where I think that's a great part to start. That's a great point to start investing.
I love that you teach it that way as well. This is something very similar that I do inside of my community. I tell them anything that you're investing into should be invested back into you.
Yeah.
And so when I talk about grants and people are like, where do I find grants? I'm like, what companies do you use? All of these companies that you use every single day, your Starbucks, your Apples, your Amazons, all of these companies have grants. So anything that you're investing into, you need to figure out, how can this company give me some money back? So it sounds like you're encouraging something very similar as well when it comes to options and trading.
Yeah, okay. Most definitely.
That's really, really good. So if I'm watching this right now and maybe I've had a bad experience with trading before, what advice would you have for me?
Give it another shot, because the thing is, when it comes to trading, there's a lot of different variables. For you, maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe you had a lot going on in your life, but you have to start when you actually have the time to do it. You actually have to give it your all. And to be honest with you, just have an open mind. A lot of people that come to me and want to learn, they're either beginners or they're people that have tried it in the past, but maybe had a bad experience. And for me, I go above and beyond for my students. So I always make sure that they come out with a great experience.
So is this something I have to have like 10 screens in front of me watching the screens all day? You see people online and they're sitting at the desk and they have like 10 or 15 different screens and it's like, okay, hit the button now. Or is this something that I can actually do from the comfort of my home at the airport having lunch right on my cell phone?
Yeah, as long as you have a laptop and a cell phone, to be honest with you, you'll be fine.
Really?
Yeah, like me, myself, personally, I trade from my laptop. I have it right here. I have the charts. And I'll trade from my phone, and literally in about 10 to 30 minutes, I'm done trading for the day.
In 10 to 30 minutes?
Yeah.
You've completed your day?
Yeah, literally.
Okay, tell me more. Because now I'm leaning in, because sometimes my days are like 8-hour days. So I would love to be able to make, thousands of dollars. There are some people who are not even making $1,000 a day, hundreds of dollars a day, working a 9 to 5. So you're telling me from my phone that I already have, that I'm already paying $1,000 for, within 15 to 30 minutes, I can be completed with my day. How do I get to that point?
Yeah, so as I said before, it all starts with your understanding. So the way I teach my students is kind of a strategy that is very simple, easily repeatable, and discipline has to take place in it. So for us, we take a trade, maybe catch 15 to 50%, and just think about it, it's a percentage game. So if you have $100 and you catch a 50% return, that's an extra $50. And for a lot of people, that might be 1 hour of their time. So if you do that a couple of times a day, an extra $100 a day, and that compounds over the course of a month, now you got an extra $2,000.
Wow. This is really, really good, because it's definitely caught my attention, because there's just so many people that don't know. And there's so many opportunities at your fingertips. Like, I tell people now, like, sometimes I feel like being a broke is like an excuse now, because there's just so many ways for you to make money. If you can use and leverage the things that you already have, that's already at your fingertips. Most of us we all have a phone, right? Most of us already have a laptop. And now it's just connecting with somebody that can teach me a skill to help me elevate and get to the next level.
Exactly. And it doesn't even have to be big. A lot of people, they'll see online people making 50,000, 100,000. I'm just like, hey, just make it realistic. If you can use trading to pay your phone bill or to pay your car note, that's a win, because at the end of the day, you're not having to use your hard-earned money.
That's really good. So you started from seeing somebody else, right, that it struck your interest, and then you locked in over COVID, correct?
Yeah.
Did you go back to school?
Yeah. So I graduated from the University of Iowa in 2022. And funny story, so that was, I believe, my third year of college. And throughout COVID, I was, at home, bored, had nothing to do. So I was just DoorDashing the whole time. So I took my DoorDash money, threw it into trading, lost some, made some, and that's how I learned, just by actually getting that experience. And then from there, went back to school and absolutely started crushing it.
I love that you touched on that, because there's so many people who feel like where they are right now is where they're going to be for like the next 5 or 10 years. But if you can take what you're doing and the discipline and a strategy, it can put you in another level. This was just how many years ago?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Yeah. And now you're teaching and educating others. And it started from you, somebody striking your interest, you seeing them with $1,000 pair of shoes, wanting to know, how did you get those $1,000 pair of shoes, and we're in school. And then 5 years later, because you invested in you and you locked in and you had the discipline to learn this skill, now you're actually teaching and educating others. So you have a class where you teach this information?
Yes, I do. It's called the Options to Income Masterclass. So it's free if, people want to go, or it's free. And when people want to learn, whether they're a beginner, whether they had some experience, or even if you feel like you had a lot of experience, there's always something new to learn, because you got to be a student of the game to be successful.
You teach this information for free?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you're teaching it for free.
Yep.
And you're showing me how to do this for free. And you're showing me how to use my phone to make money. So now I have no excuse. Like, I literally just have to lock in. Who is this for?
This is for everybody. And I believe trading is something that everyone should have in their back pocket. And I'll tell you why. So for you at home, if you're watching this, I want you to take a second and just ask yourself, what do you do for work? And how did you get to that position? Because more than likely, it took discipline, consistency, and it probably wasn't easy to get to where you are today. So all you have to do is take that and implement it in your trading journey, and you will be successful at this.
That's good. I tell people, I see online, and I tell people all the time, like, being broke is hard, being rich is hard. You just got to pick your heart.
Yeah.
Right? You got to pick which heart you want. And I don't know, I think I'd rather pick the rich heart journey than anything else. So teaching people, you're educating them, you're showing them these strategies, and you're showing them how to do it. And I know a lot of times we show like all the glam online, like all the success and all the good things that have happened. What are some challenges that you faced on your journey, or maybe a loss or two that you actually went as you were learning this information?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me when I was learning, it was hard because it was lonely. It was literally just me. Trading wasn't popular back in 2019, early 2020. So I had no one to ask questions, no one to get constructive criticism from. So it just was a lonely journey, and I really didn't know how to learn from my losses. So it just was trial and error period. That was the hardest part for me.
How many people around you told you that you were crazy for doing this?
Oh man, literally everybody.
Yeah.
Like throughout the whole first year of me trying to learn options trading, I was telling people, hey, you should maybe learn how to do this. And everyone was like, no, it's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. Just focus on school. And now those same people come back and ask for advice.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can't bring everybody with you. Sometimes you just have to go show them, what you're doing and let them see the results of your lock-in and your determination.
Yeah, and that's something that is so satisfying for me to see because I was the one that planted that seed in my community for my friends, for my family. So, when I teach someone how to do it and they kind of go through that same experience, then they're able to put other people on around them. That's what it's all about.
Very similar story. My best friend, her name is Deshauna. She got approved for $200,000 in grants.
Wow.
And when I first started my journey, people told me, "You're crazy. You're going to teach people." I got fired from Wells Fargo for teaching this information. And everybody thought I should have just went and got a job at another bank. Like, you should just go get a job at another bank. But once I locked in on this and I was able to teach it and break it down in a way where anybody can understand it, I went back and showed my best friend what to do. And she recently got approved for $200,000 in grants. So very similar story. It's exciting to know that the determination and the sacrifices I made, it's now blessing others around me and blessing my circle. Like we're fighting over the check. Like,
right.
Brunch dates are not gossip. It's about the next grin and the next opportunity. And I love that for my circle, to be able to just, pour into each other and educate each other instead of like what what's going on the latest TV show right now. So that's always impactful. So if I'm watching this and maybe I am interested in getting started, what are some, I know you said you use Robinhood, but what are some apps that I could use and just, maybe how can I get started today, like right now after watching this?
Yeah, so I would say the first step is to download Robinhood, or you can use Webull. There's a lot of different brokerages. Personally, I think Robinhood's the easiest to use. It's kind of like the Apple of trading, very easy interface. So I would say start on Robinhood, make sure you get an account, and go on YouTube, and all you have to do is just search up what is options trading and how to use Robinhood. Once you understand those two things, that sets the foundation, and then from there, I'll carry the rest for you.
But I'm scared. That's what somebody's watching. Somebody watching this right now is probably thinking, this sounds really amazing and I really want to do it, but I'm scared. But all I have is, $1,000 in my savings account. I'm scared to take this $1,000 and invest it. What advice do you have for me?
There's a thing called paper trading. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but essentially you can trade and you can get your feet wet. You can get the experience without actually risking real dollars. So it's kind of like trading simulated money,
like Monopoly,
right?
Like Monopoly money.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it's for you to actually get that experience so you can understand what you're doing before you start risking real money, because why would you lose money not understanding what you're doing when you can risk fake money?
What's the biggest loss that you took in trading?
So back in, I believe this was June of 2023, I lost $58,000 in a day.
Oh, that's somebody's salary.
Yeah, it was insane.
What's the biggest gain?
The biggest gain in one day, I believe, was $64,000.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So terms, right? Because I think there's some terminology that, people can get kind of mixed up on, and it can kind of be a little intimidating. What's some terms that we should know when it comes to trading and, the good, the bad?
So with trading options, there's really only two ways it can go. A stock can go up and a stock can go down.
Okay.
So with options trading, if you want to place a trade that is essentially betting the stock is going to go up, that's called a call option.
Okay.
So think of it as if your phone's ringing right now, you're going to pick up the call. The stock going up, you're going to pick up the call. Now, for puts, that's the opposite. When the stock is going down, we're going to put the phone down.
Oh, that's good.
So you can capitalize when the stock goes up or when the stock goes down.
Oh, that's really good. And the way you just broke that down,
I'm telling you, I make it super easy for my people.
You do.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so I told you I have a 14-year-old. And she has like a little investment account. I shouldn't say little. She has an investment account and she dibbles and dabs. It's under my name, but I allow her to, play with it. When do you think parents should start teaching their kids this information? And when do you think kids should actually get started in trading and learning this information?
Yeah, I mean, the earlier the better. If I was 14 years old and someone just introduced investing to me, oh my gosh, I don't know where I would be today.
Yeah.
So literally the earlier the better.
That's how I feel. I feel like, you teach them and educate them early, and people are like, oh, you're crazy. You're letting her. She makes her own money. She does really, really well. And she understands that a percentage of her money needs to go towards investing.
Yeah.
And so, but she doesn't listen to me. So I'm definitely going to have to put her in your class. educate, because the way you break it down, anybody can understand it. But when I tell you, if I tell that girl, hey, this option is you need to go put $1 million over here, she won't do it. I could tell her I had like an inside tip and she wouldn't do it. But if you tell her, she'll put everything in. So I definitely have to put her inside of your class so you can teach her and just pour into her, because she's super excited about learning this information. If you are, as you're teaching and as you're coaching and as you are pouring into others, what are some objections or some challenges that you see that people face and why they don't want to actually do this?
Yeah, a lot of people have self-doubt, and I mean, it's normal. I had self-doubt when I first started out, because you're going on a journey that you've never been on before. And, you know, you see other people have success within it, but then sometimes you sit there and think, you know, can I do that? Do I have what it takes to be successful in this journey? And to be honest, I think everyone does. You just have to have the confidence. You have to really just convince yourself that this is meant for you. So as long as you don't stop throughout that journey, you will be successful.
What gives you the drive to keep going? Like when you have those days that don't, because every day isn't $1,000, $2,000, $64,000 day. Mm-hmm. What gives you the drive to keep going even when the days aren't successful?
So for me, I know every single day that I try, I get 1% better. And the small wins accumulate over the course of a year.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So essentially this is a full-time, it's a full-time job, but you can do it within 15 to 30 minutes, you know, sitting from the comfort of your home and make double or triple of what your salary, you know, what a normal salary could be.
Yeah, most definitely.
And so you have students that you probably have some success stories that you've had with students that you have actually worked with.
So funny you just asked that, because I just got a new student, I believe last week. So she's only been learning for about a week and a half now. And yesterday she made $13,000.
$13,000.
Yeah.
In one day.
Yeah, I'll literally show you right now.
That's my new bag. That's a bag. That's a pair of shoes. I mean, I probably would reinvest a little bit of it, but I could really go have fun with. That's a vacation to Dubai. That's
I know. It's crazy.
13,000 in a day is amazing. I love that. You post receipts all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, sometimes I just get a little excited to see my students win. Like, it's crazy to me, because at one point at the beginning, the students didn't understand anything at all. And I always tell them from the beginning, just trust me, you will be successful. I already know how this journey is going to play out for you. I've been through it. Mm-hmm. Hundreds of other people have been through it, and you just got to trust me. And to see for her to actually go through it and end up making $13,000 over the course of a week and a half is absolutely insane.
Yeah, there's probably somebody watching this right now. I have an audience of entrepreneurs. They're just retired, or, you know, maybe they are still working and thinking about retiring, 50, 60, 70 years old. I have one community member. Her name is Miss Esther, 75 years old. She just won her first grant. And I'll tell people all the time, like, age is not a barrier to actually doing this. And so I think it's the same for you. Like, you're never too old to get started. Would you agree? Or?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I don't think there's really a certain point at which, okay, this doesn't make sense for you, because at the end of the day, it's all online. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go into a job and do manual labor. It's you just using your brain.
Having an iPhone, which most of us, or not a phone. It doesn't have to be an iPhone, but a phone, which most of us have. If you're watching this right now, you're probably watching it either from a phone or from a laptop, or maybe your computer, or maybe your TV. But most of the time, it's either from a phone or a laptop. So as you press end on here, you should be going to download Robinhood.
Right, exactly.
They should be going to register for the masterclass, then downloading Robinhood.
Exactly.
And then actually taking action on this information.
You gotta make your devices make money for you.
They have to make money for it. They should be paying for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So we talked about, you know, all the amazing things you're doing and all the teaching and coaching, but Sire, what's next for you? Like, what do you see yourself in, like, the next 5 years of, you know, coaching and teaching and pouring into others?
Yeah, so for me, it's just making the biggest impact possible. Right now, I do a very good job, but, you know, I would say 5 years from now, I want to get global with it. I want to be the person that can go within any community, within any country, and be able to show people you can have a different life through the vehicle of investing, options trading, or just being smart with your money in general.
That's really good. You said global. So this has I can be international and actually.
Yeah, you can. It's absolutely crazy. I have some students out in Canada and London. You can do a lot when it comes to trading.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more. So I can be international. I can be in Ghana and still be making money, $13,000 a day in 15 to 30 minutes, as long as I got a phone and Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So there are different brokerages that people from other countries can use to get access to the U.S. stock market.
Wow. So it sounds like you are literally, and this is what I love about the teachers in the space. It sounds like you are dedicating, you're dedicating your 15 to 30 minutes, so you're actually doing the work and you're seeing the return of your hard work and effort. But sounds like you're actually studying as well as the teacher to bridge the gap and be able to show your students what to do to help them grow and be successful. And it changes, I'm sure, often, right? So how do you find, now that I'm excited and I am investing in things that I love, what other strategies or advice could you give on how to find things to help me be successful in trading? Or are these things that you actually give your students?
Yeah, most definitely. And as I said before, being a student of the game is critical. So for me, I'm able to learn from my losses and also learn from my wins. Let's say I make a trade and I get 30% return. And let's say it continues to 100%. I ask myself, okay, why did I sell at 30%? Why didn't I just not hold to 100%? So there's something to learn. And every single time I learn something new, or kind of every time I learn something new, or just really look back at what I've done and see how I can improve it, I pass it on to my students. It's a never ending cycle of learning.
Yeah, that's really good. My daughter, again, I'll use her as an example. When the whole Trump took gas from somebody, she came to me and she was like, I figured out what to do. She said, you just watch the news and you invest in what's going on in the news. And I was like, how did you come up with this? And she was like, yeah, so I had like $60 and I put it into, like, I think it was like Chevron or something like that, and it made her some money. So would you say, is that a good tip, or is that a strategy that you use, like what's going on in the world and in politics? Does that impact trading as well?
Yeah, most definitely. Micro and macroeconomics play a factor in it. And even funny story, I believe this was March or April of 2025. I don't know if you remember when the market tanked. Everything was down, the news was bad, and I saw a great opportunity, passed it along to my students, and we invested in the big names, such as we said earlier, NVIDIA, Tesla, Apple, and so forth. And all of those investments, 100% return. And it's just crazy that you can literally look at the news and use that as a foundation to understand what type of trades you should be taking.
This is really good. I'm excited for your masterclass. If you're breaking it down this simple in a podcast, I can only imagine like what the masterclass is going to be and how successful it's going to be. What's some other wins that you've had inside of your community or inside of your program where you're teaching others as well?
Yeah, I have students make anywhere from $1,000 a day on a regular basis. Some students make a couple $100s a day. And to me, a win is a win. It doesn't matter if it's $5, $50,000, $20,000. A win is a win because that's money that they're making from not having to go to work.
What are some things that you've been able to do financially, if you don't mind me asking, that you probably didn't envision that you, as the kid on the bus at the University of Iowa that had no idea what trading is, or at the guy that's DoorDashing because it's COVID? What are some things that you've been able to accomplish that trading has allowed you to do?
Really just show my friends, show my family around the world. Growing up in Iowa, because that's where I'm originally from, it's a small state, come from a small town. So being able to, push others and be able to fund trips for other people to, so they can explore the world, and really just giving back to my community. That's been something that I've been happy to do. That's always amazing.
That's always amazing. And I love people who lead with their impact and lead with their mission to help others. It always just comes back 10 times fold. So I'm just super excited for what's next for you. I'm super excited for all of the value and the information that you bring and how you're going to change the world with this information that you're giving. Is there any last piece of information or advice that you would like to give somebody that's watching this right now, or anything that I didn't ask or touch on that you would just like to, share and shine light on?
Yeah, I would say for anyone watching this, just start. Just trust yourself, give yourself a chance, because for all you know, this might be the thing. This might be the time or the opportunity that changes your life.
As well, let them know how they can connect with you and how they can log into this masterclass.
Most definitely. So to find me, you can go to Instagram, and my Instagram is at Sire Abram, SireAbram.
So for the masterclass website, we'll make sure the link is in the comments so you guys can join the masterclass and actually lock in on how to actually do this information and learn from Sire and all of his knowledge. 27 years old and so much wisdom and so much knowledge. Well, I just want to thank you for being a part of Access Granted, for coming in and shining so much light and teaching me and educating me and getting me excited to actually get started.
Yeah, most definitely. I appreciate it.
No problem. You guys, you tuned into another amazing episode of Access Granted. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with 3 people that you love. Until next time.